Welcome to Lecture 6. This lecture is going to discuss second part for behavioral modeling. It's developing use cases. This figure shows the position of the behavioral modeling among the development phases. We have identified initial use cases and understood the basics of use cases in previous week. In this lecture, we further process those use cases to be fully developed, rigorously structured, and precisely refined for the building blocks of a detailed behavior model. This lecture covers 5 major topics. The first topic is structuring and developing use cases by formalized templates. The template is a well-defined table with the ordered fields to describe use cases. Then you will identify the generalization of use cases and actors. It's using the object-oriented technique. The third topic is about the extending use case functions to further refine the use cases. The first topic is to understand the use case diagrams feature. It's used as a meta model to describe the abstract functionalities of the system. The last topic is to draw activity diagram for clarifying use cases by providing the logic flows of a process. This figure depicts 4 steps of developing use cases after domain analysis. The first step is a discovery of initial use cases that has been discussed in previous lecture. The first step is a discovery of initial use cases that has been discussed in the previous lecture. The second step is to further develop use cases for refinement and full structure. The last 2 steps are reorganizing, elaborating use cases to provide well-defined and ordered fields by template structures to describe the goal of the system. The fully developed use cases will be used for next activities of structure modeling. Please understand this figure to achieve the objectives of this lecture. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to develop basic use cases. The first task is to structure and expand use cases through the templates. With the template, the various scenarios such as normal flows, subflows, alternate steps, or exceptions are described. You should get familiar with the use case templates by doing the weekly questions and attending the workshops. Your next task is to consolidate and reorganize identified use cases, such as discovering new use cases, finding new relationships, generalizing use case and actors, extending use case functionalities, and draw use case diagram to represent whole system. The last task is to draw activity diagram for the logic flow of the use cases. It's a supplemental document for use case modeling. This shows the outline of the template. You will use it for developing each use case. You will read lecture notes and textbook to understand those individual fields and practice the templates in the workshops and the assignment. About deliverables, there are 3 deliverables of use case modeling in this lecture. The first deliverable is a use case template. The second deliverable is a use case diagram for fully developed use cases. The third deliverable is an activity diagram. I will show you those 3 deliverables. The first deliverable is a field template. Here is the field use case template for place new order. Please pay attention to the name of the use case and the goal of the primary actor, customer. The actor customer is to place new order. You may change the primary actor to sales staff. Then the corresponding goal will be changed to checkout items. That is, the name of the use case has to be changed to the goal of the primary actor. You will understand the meaning of fields and be able to deliver the template for each use case. Here shows the second deliverable, the use case diagram. It's an example for patient management subsystem of Walden Medical Center. The use case diagram is a metadata for describing the relationships of actors and the use cases in the subsystem. The internal structure and the scenarios of individual use cases are described in separate templates. This is an example of activity diagram to make appointment for patient. The activity diagram presents the logical steps of activities. It represents a visual dynamic view of the system behavior. With the aforementioned objectives and the key points of this lecture, you need to further studies on readings and practice. You need to read lecture notes to achieve the required objectives in this week. You complete the quiz questions in order to get 2 marks for this week. The results of this lecture comes from Chapter 7 of the textbook. Lecture notes and review questions are available on LMS. Completing the task of each week is a key to succeed this subject. Please make sure to finish the learning activities each week. You may email your lecturer for consultations if you have any questions.